I'm Emily from Go Big or Go Home Cosplay, and today I'm here with Plaid Cosplay. We're going to be making this wicked Wasteland helm. I love this because we took a plastic welder's mask and completely changed the way that it looked just by using paint. It's really cool because this rust effect makes it look real, and it's a safe alternative to adding real rust to your projects. Be sure to check out the description that lists all the products and materials used on this. Alrighty guys, let's get started. For this build, we purchased a plastic welder's mask off online and we modified it by using a hand sander. This is important because we want to roughen the surface to help the paint adhere. We also removed any logos and added battle damage with a Dremel. We wanted to remove any additional hardware before we painted. We replaced the plastic window with a metal wire screen, purchased at our local hardware store. We also adhered the screen to the back of the mask using hot glue. Now we're going to base coat the welder's mask by using FolkArt multi-surface in titanium white. You do this by using a flat brush and try to get as much surface coverage as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Once your white base coat is dry, start adding a layer of metallic silver around the plastic window with a small flat brush. Now we're going to go in with FolkArt Podge Yellow. I'm using a large flat brush to cover any area that was base coated in white. You'll notice that the white base coat helps the yellow pigmentation to pop. So here I'm using a small detail brush to cover any remaining white paint showing around the window. Just make sure not to paint over the metallic silver. We're using masking tape to create a pattern on the mask. Before putting tape onto your surface, it's always a good idea to remove some of the tack. You can do this by putting the tape onto fabric or a paper towel a few times. This will help so the paint doesn't pull up when we remove the tape. The area we're masking off will be painted black. This is to emulate a Wasteland caution look. Make sure to try to be as symmetrical as possible. This can be challenging when masking off curved surfaces. So take your time and try your best. With a large flat brush, use FolkArt Pure Black to paint within the masked off areas. While the black paint is still wet, slowly remove the masking tape. This will reveal the color blocking pattern. Here, we're using FolkArt Peel and Stick stencils to spell out the word salvaged. Note that we will be using the letter A twice. When spacing out the word salvaged onto your mask, make sure to leave enough room for the second A. This product is great because the stencils can be applied onto flat and curved surfaces. These are also removable and reusable. Using a dry brush technique, we'll stencil salvaged with a small scruffy brush. Apply FolkArt titanium white to your brush, then offload excess paint onto your paper towel. With a pouncing motion, apply paint onto your stencil, making sure not to go over the edge. You repeat this process as needed. Finish the word salvage by reusing the letter A once again. After the paint has dried, remove the stencils. Now it's time to rough it up. Let's make this a real Wasteland mask. We're going to do this by applying 2 washes. The first with FolkArt Pure Black and the second with raw sienna. For both washes, use a large scruffy brush mixing a 1:1 paint to water ratio. Apply the wash onto the mask, working around the edges inward, and wipe away any excess paint with a paper towel. This really changes the overall feel of the mask by making it look distressed and aged. Now we're going to make an exposed metal effect by using a scrap piece of foam and some silver paint. Once you apply a small amount of paint onto the foam, remove some excess paint onto your paper towel. This helps level the paint on the foam. Now, quickly graze and skim over any high points on the mask. This mimics the illusion that paint has been scraped off the mask surface, revealing the metal underneath. It's time to add some rust. FolkArt has a really cool painted finishes in rust. We'll be using both dark rust and light rust on this mask. To apply, use a scruffy brush with a dabbing motion. Alternate between both colors around any areas that could be rusted or damaged. Feel free to have fun by creating drips and texture. This paint is great to really customize your piece. To protect our project, we're going to be using Mod Podge Ultra in matte. Firmly shake the bottle and test spray one time off to the side before applying liberally to your mask. Apply a second coat as needed, and that's it. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I really hope that you learned a lot about how to add rust to your next cosplay. Be sure to like, follow, and share, and hashtag plaid crafts and plaid cosplay. We'd love to see your work. Alrighty guys, happy crafting.